Westminster Abbey, the symbol of England's power and faith. In 1303, a daring group of thieves challenged that power by pulling off one of the most infamous heists of the medieval era, stealing the crown jewels and treasure of King Edward I. How did they do it, and what happened to them? Let's dive into the thrilling story of this medieval masterpiece of crime. To understand the heist, we need to look at the world in 1303. England was under the rule of Edward I, known as the Hammer of the Scots. Edward was a king obsessed with power and expansion, constantly waging wars to expand his realm. But wars cost money, and England needed funds to maintain its growing empire. Treasures like gold, jewels, and priceless relics were stored in one of the safest places in the kingdom, Westminster Abbey. The abbey was considered impregnable, a symbol of both the monarchy's and the church's immense wealth. Enter Richard of Pudlicot, a merchant turned criminal mastermind. Richard's fall from grace began when he lost everything to a series of bad investments. Living in poverty and desperate for wealth, he saw an opportunity in the legendary treasures of Westminster Abbey. He wasn't acting alone. Richard recruited a group of skilled criminals who had knowledge of the Abbey's layout and security. One of the most interesting aspects of their plan was how they bypassed the Abbey's walls. They dug a tunnel. The process of digging tunnels in the medieval era was labor-intensive and dangerous. The thieves didn't have modern tools, so they used picks, shovels, and simple wooden supports to avoid tunnel collapses. It took weeks of digging from a house next to the abbey under the cover of darkness. Medieval tunnels were often dug at a gradual incline to prevent collapse and maintain stability. Once they reached their target, the abbey's treasure vault, the thieves took great care to not disturb the foundations, ensuring the tunnel remained undetected. They even brought in additional manpower during the night to dig faster. The crew worked tirelessly, fully aware that one mistake could mean their capture. The reward for all their effort? A treasure trove beyond their wildest imaginations. The loot was staggering. Among the stolen items were royal crowns, gold coins, silver plates, and priceless relics that had been gifted to the abbey over centuries. The thieves targeted items with high value but also portable. Gold coins, chalices, rings, and jewelry. Among the most significant treasures stolen was a jeweled crown, a symbol of the king's power. There were also royal scepters, gold and silver goblets, and even relics said to be from holy saints. The thieves made several trips over the course of weeks, and the stolen treasure was quietly hidden, awaiting escape. When the robbery was discovered, it sent shockwaves throughout England. The theft of sacred treasures was not only a crime against the monarchy, but a direct challenge to the power of the church. Westminster Abbey was considered one of the holiest places in the kingdom. How could this happen? King Edward I was furious. He immediately ordered a full-scale investigation, and soldiers combed through the abbey and the surrounding areas. The king suspected that there had to be an insider, someone who knew the abbey's layout and weaknesses. He was right. Eventually, Richard of Pudlicot's involvement was uncovered. The authorities tracked down several of his accomplices, and after intense interrogations, Richard was captured. Under torture, he confessed to the crime and revealed the full extent of the operation. The authorities soon discovered the tunnel leading into Westminster Abbey, a testimony to the thieves' cunning. Despite their efforts to hide the loot, much of the treasure was recovered. However, some of it was lost forever. Richard's trial was swift and brutal. In medieval England, justice was harsh, and crimes of this nature were treated severely. Richard was found guilty of theft and conspiracy, and he was sentenced to death. The rest of the thieves, including his key accomplices, were executed or hanged. The trial of Richard of Pudlicot became a public spectacle, a reminder of the consequences of attempting to rob the crown. The Great Robbery of 1303 remains one of the most daring and audacious heists in history. The fact that such a crime could occur within the walls of a sacred institution like Westminster Abbey proves that even the most secure places are vulnerable to human greed and ingenuity. Richard's name may be forgotten by some, but the story of his robbery lives on, cementing its place in the annals of medieval crime.